Choosing a driving school for your teenager, it's honestly one of the biggest decisions you'll make as a parent. This isn't just about them passing a test, right? It's about giving them the skills to be safe on the road for the rest of their lives. But what if the system that's supposed to do that is actually broken?
Just think about that for a second. What happens if the test your kid is studying for, the one that's supposed to prove they're ready to drive alone, what if that test doesn't actually prepare them for the real world, for today's roads?
Well, this isn't a what-if scenario. This is real. After Ontario made its G-test easier back in 2022, getting rid of things like emergency stops, at-fault crashes among new drivers shot up by a jaw-dropping 30%. That tells you everything you need to know. Just teaching to the test isn't just a bad idea, it's become genuinely dangerous. So, to really understand why this is happening, we've got to talk about a huge system failure that's putting new drivers at risk. It's something called the practice gap. Now, this is so important. The practice gap isn't about your kid being lazy or not practicing enough. No, this is a known, documented failure in licensing systems all over the world. It's that massive, massive gap between the handful of hours they get with an instructor and the hundreds of hours of real, supervised practice they actually need to be safe when they're finally out there on their own. And wow, this slide really puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Here in Ontario, the standard driver's ed course requires just 10 hours of in-car practice. 10. Now look at a place like Australia, where their system is based on years of research. They require 120 hours. That's a 110-hour gap where anything can happen. Okay, so you've got this huge practice gap, and then you throw a watered-down road test on top of it. What do you get? Well, you get a whole generation of drivers who have a license, sure, but they're not truly prepared for the road. I mean, think about driving right here in our area. Does the basic road test prepare a new driver for merging onto a completely packed Highway 404 during rush hour? No way. Does it teach them how to handle a car on an icy hill on Bathurst Street in the middle of January? Or what to do in a whiteout snowstorm? Of course not. These are life or death skills, not simple test maneuvers. And really, this is the bottom line. The experts who analyzed Ontario's test changes are saying it loud and clear. Any school that just focuses on passing the test is failing its students. They're failing to prepare them for the real world, where the consequences are so much higher. Okay, so if the system itself has issues, what's the answer? What should a parent like you be looking for? This is where we need to talk about a totally different way of thinking about driver training, one that's all about prevention. It really starts by changing the entire goal. Look, the objective should not be getting a piece of plastic in their wallet. The real goal, the only goal that matters, is to create a driver who can see a potential crash coming from a mile away and actually has the skills to avoid it. So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, let's look at one example, the collision-free approach. This is a whole system built on core habits. It teaches drivers to be proactive, to scan way down the road for hazards instead of just reacting. It's about strategically managing the space around your car, creating a safety bubble. And maybe most importantly, it's about actually mastering the physical maneuvers to get yourself out of trouble. And this slide right here, this is the single biggest difference you need to be looking for. A standard school, they teach the rules to pass the test. But some schools go way beyond that. They make life-saving skills like head-on collision avoidance, emergency braking, recovering from a skid on ice, a mandatory core part of what they teach. That's a game changer. Now, a different approach sounds great, but you gotta ask, does it actually work? This is where you, as the parent, need to demand proof. So let's look at the kind of hard data a school should be able to show you. So get this. In a survey of almost 900 graduates from a program with this kind of philosophy, a staggering 96.7% of them were either completely collision-free or, and this is key, if they were in a crash, it wasn't their fault. That's the kind of safety record you should be looking for. And if we break that down, you can see that over 92% of these drivers have never had a crash at all. And of the very few who did, almost all of them were the victim, not the cause. Only this tiny little sliver, 3.3%, has ever been at fault. I mean, that data really speaks for itself. But for me, this is the number that really hits home. More than half, almost 57% of these grads could point to a specific moment on the road where they used a skill they learned in their training to actively avoid a crash. That's not a theory. That's training that is literally saving lives. So you see how this just completely reframes the whole conversation? We're not talking about the cost of driving lessons anymore. We're talking about the value of an investment in your child's life. And this chart just lays out the real math, doesn't it? A premium training course might look like a big number up front, but look at the alternative. Just one average at-fault collision costs over $10,000, easy, when you factor in damages and insurance hikes. And the economic cost of a fatality? Well, you can't even put a price on that. The right training pays for itself 1,000 times over if it prevents just one bad day. So when you're comparing driving schools, this is your checklist. You need to ask these tough questions. Are you actually paying for evasive maneuver training? Is the school giving you any technology, like an AI-powered app, to help close that dangerous practice gap? And maybe the biggest question of all, can they show you any published data that proves their graduates are safer? For a lot of standard schools, the answer to all of these is going to be no. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Picture your kid. They just got their license, they're driving alone, it's late at night, a snowstorm hits on the 404, and the car in front of them suddenly spins out of control. In that split second, what training do you want them to have? The training that taught them how to pass a test, or the training that taught them how to survive?